Hello everyone, welcome to this Coder Dojo Ham special. If you were watching our live stream at the weekend, you'll have heard us talking a bit about Advent of Code, which has started today. So we thought we'd just give a really quick introduction to getting started with Advent of Code. Ozzy's going to try today's first problem and we'll see how we get on. Right, so let's just share a screen, shall we, Oz? And then you want application window. Yeah, there we go. Great. So if you go to that screen, and then let's just go to Advent of Code. So amazingly, Advent of Code. Cool. And then we're straight at our Advent of Code website, and it looks really simple. Advent of Code, it's all text-based. There are no graphics on it at all, which means it's super lean and super easy to do. And you can see that there's a number 1 there. If you click on the 1, that will be today's problem, because as you might have guessed from the name, Advent of Code gives you a different puzzle each day, a bit like opening an advent calendar. Because today is 1st of December, we've got one puzzle there. In order to save your work, you need to log in. So if you just click on the login button, it gives you a number of options of how to log in. You can use your Google account if you've got one. You could use Twitter or Reddit, or in Oz's case, he's going to use GitHub. He's already signed into GitHub. If you've got a GitHub ID, you can just allow it, click on the authorize button, and then you'd be straight in. If you were using a Gmail account or a Google account, that would work as well. So there we go. So you're logged in now. So if you click on number 1, you can have a look at today's problem. Where Advent of Code works is there's like a story that goes on for 25 days that takes you through some kind of adventure. And you have to solve programming challenges as part of that adventure. So you can probably read the puzzle that's on the screen there today. This is all about trying to gather stars, which is the objective. Every day there's a 2-part puzzle, and you get 2 stars for completing both parts of the puzzle. Let's have a look at what we've actually got to do today. So what's our challenge?
Challenge is down here.
Yeah.
So you need to look at your expense report.
Right.
And find 2 entries that add up to 2020 and then multiply the 2 numbers together.
Okay, that sounds okay. And look, there's an example there. So if your expense report had the following numbers, 1721, etc. For that first line, the 2 entries that sum together, sum to 2020 in that list of numbers are 1721 and 299. So the correct answer is the sum of those. Is those 2 multiplied together? 514, 579. Okay, I get it. Fine. Okay. So if you scroll down to the bottom, you can see a thing there that says "Get your puzzle input." So if we click on that, there's our list. So that's a lot bigger than the one they showed us on there, right? A big list of numbers. So we'll need to save that somewhere then. So if you right-click on the page there and do Save As, and we can save it somewhere on our computer. Maybe just go to downloads. Maybe we create a new folder, store it all in. Okay, super. And just I'd keep it called import, if you like.
Input 1 for the first.
All right, okay. So we've now got that file saved. So now we need to do some Python with it. Use some Python, solve that problem. Let's just go back to the instructions and see what we're asking to do. We've got to find
2 numbers out of all these numbers.
Yeah.
That add together to sum to 2020, and then we need to multiply the 2 numbers together, and that the sum of the multiplication will be our answer.
Okay, great. So let's get a Python load up and start doing that. Let's stop sharing screen because we'll need another window, right? Yeah, you can use Funny. That's fine. So maybe delete both those 2. What have we done there? So So just close that window as well. Get the window open. Right, great. And then let's share that screen, shall we? Window and the screen. Yeah, right. There you go. Cool. Right. So we've got our. Let's save this file first of all, and if we save it into that directory we created, then it should be able to find the file we've saved. Right. It's called AOC. Just put it in the top. Find. Yeah. So, yeah, on that. Yeah. Okay. And give the file name and put like day1.py. Okay, so what's the first thing we'll need to do then? We've got our data file.
We need to import the list.
You import it, right? Great. Okay. How do you load a file in Python? Right, so we can use the open command. So we could let's create a variable called file equals open and name of our file input.text. Text there, good. And that will need to be in double quotes, I think. It's a text string. And we can say, read that file line by line, something like for line. And then let's check that's working. We can just like print lines. So that's just, if we run this now, that should just print out the numbers for us. Right, there we go. I'll do that really quick. So that was super easy. So we've got our numbers being read in from the file.
Yeah.
What should we do? How should we read them in? What should we read them into? We've got lots of them.
List.
A list, yeah, let's put them in a list. Maybe before we open it, we could create an empty list. A list is a keyword in Python, so you can't call a list list. Expenses or something, maybe. Expenses or EXP or something, EXP. Right. And what's an empty list in Python? What are the brackets we use?
Oh, square brackets. The wrong thing.
What are curly brackets? Dictionary.
Oh, no.
An empty list doesn't have anything in it. What you've created there is an empty list with an empty string in it. Yeah. Lose those two quotes inside your string. That's it. Okay. And what if you how when you read something from a file, what format do you normally by default read it in as? What file type?
A string. A
string, yeah. So what we need to do to we're going to do some maths on it. Right, convert it to an integer. Then again, let's check each stage of what we're doing. So outside of the loop, let's just print that list out when we're done, see what it looks like. We get a nice long list of numbers. It hasn't shown us them all there, but that's pretty good. Yeah, they're all there. Great. Okay, so now we've got our list. What was the task we're trying to do?
See which two values in the list add up to 2020.
Right, great. So what are we going to need to do then? We can iterate over our list.
So we have to get
one at a time.
So we get the first value in the list in this case.
Yeah.
And run it against every other value.
Great. Yeah, let's do that.
So we do that. Then we put another.
Yeah.
For we do I in EXP.
Yeah.
Then we do I.
So that's going to go through, and that will pick each one of the elements of the list in turn, and then we want to do that. We want to try and add that to all the other ones in turn.
So then we do another for
right. We have a nested loop inside it.
B in EXP.
See, I would have done I and J, but yeah, for I and E is all good. Yeah.
Then if I plus E is 2020,
Yeah.
we just do break.
I think you just print it. I don't think there's that many that we can do. We can print, let's print I and E out and check. Well, we could print I, E, and then what do we need to do with them when we found them?
And then together.
Yeah, so why don't we print that as well? So you print I, comma, well, let's do I, comma, E.
Comma, I.
Yeah.
Times
Yeah, and then we can use this. That's if that works.
Oh, equals equals.
Right.
Okay, if we run this, we got.
So we found them twice. That's right, because each way we ran through, we did it. Those, my math says those numbers add up to 23.
So we 5, 5, 7, 6.
Yeah, right. So let's copy that into the clipboard. Do Control-C. Let's stop sharing the Python screen for a second. Go back to the other one. It's the other one, isn't it? And it is that one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's paste that number and see if it works. You got it right. You got the right answer. One called Scar. So that's part one done. So then if you click on part two, there's a second part, which is normally like do something else with the thing you've already written. What we've got to do here then?
Okay, using the above example again, 3 entries at sum to 27, multiplying them together. So now we need to find three. There'll be 3 numbers that add to 2020.
Oh, that's okay. That's really quite easy to modify our program to do that, right? Okay, let's swap back to the other 3 again then. Stop showing it.
Other screen.
We've got to find 3 numbers. So we've done it for 2.
So then we just add another nested.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
For J is EXP. I plus E plus J.
Yeah.
I.e. J, comma, I.
Once you've got your indentation there.
We're done.
See if that works?
So we've now got.
Yeah, and
there should be one.
Each one 3 times, right? 8, yes, exactly. Okay, let's see if that number's right then.
Copy that.
Yeah. Right, that's the answer. There you go. So that's it. And now, if you go to your, I think you just go to stats, maybe. On the stats, you can see. Scroll down. So far, 41,489 people have done Advent of Code today.
Yeah, and is that how many people have done the first one? Oh.
Yeah, exactly that.
First
numbers have done both. And done one, right? And if you go up to your top thing there, if you click on, I think just calendar, I think it is, it shows you your progress. So you can see you've now got 2 stars for day 1. On the left there, it reveals like a bit of a picture that gets bigger every day. And then the countdown is to how long till the next door can be open.
11 hours, 39 minutes.
And you can do some fun things. If you click on leaderboard, I think we've got a leaderboard, haven't we? We've got a private leaderboard there. Private leaderboard. Yes, we've got our leaderboard. If you click on view next to your brother's leaderboard there, you can see, look, there's us in there. All 3 of us have done Advent of Code for this first one. We'll probably create a leaderboard for Code Dojo Ham, which we can tweet out, so anyone can just join those leaderboards. But that's it, really. That's Advent of Code. We hope you found that useful and that you get stuck into Advent of Code.
Yeah.
Should say the challenges do get harder as it goes on in time. So unless you're a super good coder, I wouldn't expect to get all the way through to day 25. But keep going, see how far you can get, and hopefully have some fun. We'll see you on a live stream soon. Bye-bye.